podcast episode number 2. Apart from the life journey, we're gonna side by side. We're gonna talk about cryptocurrency market 2018, or in general, the Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrency. That's what we're gonna discuss side by side. So the last time I was talking about, I was in England. You know how I started my journey in hospitality and business development. You know, all those sort of parts of it. I won't go into details today. I really want to say happy Easter to everyone out there. Like, oh, happy Easter holidays, I would say. You know, it's kind of it's a sad day, but you know, Jesus got crucified, but it's a learning lesson for all of us. um, you know, what's out there in the world, and we learn from the history. It's just a learning from the history. Okay, so that's kind of Easter for everybody, whoever, wherever you are in the world. You know, good day from Busha. Okay, what we're going to talk about is today the cryptocurrency market 2018. So let's talk about that. Right now, the market is absolutely down. Like, you know, the market is we're playing in. It's gone from you know, around about a $1 trillion, which is like a $800 billion, to 289 or 90, somewhere along those lines. Like, don't quote me on that, but it's fluctuating between 3 to 400 billion. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Like, you know, it's just a food for thought. Like, think about this way: market has not been crashed. Like, if you think logically, the market is not being crashed. Okay, right? That's what I'm saying. But think about. I just really want you to think about this way. Last year, beginning of last year, the the total market cap was, I think, 13 to 20 billion dollars, right? So it was nothing, right, last year. And then you know, it pushed forward. Like, if we, you know, fast forward it, and it's gone up to end of last year, 800 billion dollars. So going from 13 to 20, or 20 billion dollars to 800 billion dollars, that's a huge shift. So what I want you to think about it this way is that if you start investing when it was 20 or 30 or 40 billion dollar market cap, market is not crashed for you. But here's the thing, like, you know, if you didn't do your due diligence and then you start riding when the market cap was $500 billion, which is $500 billion plus, and then you start investing into it, you know, you could if you took the profit out between 5 to 800 billion dollars, that's okay. If you didn't, that's the market crash for you guys. Okay, it's a very volatile, highly volatile market. Like, if you look into the cryptocurrency, it's a highly volatile market, guys. Um, And when you're looking at it, when you start investing into $13 billion or $20 billion, you you still have an upside. You're not downside. You're still upside. Like, you know, but if you start investing when it was, you know, as I said, half a trillion, $500, $500 billion plus, then it's a crash for you. Okay, so what you need to do, like, you know, in this period, what you need to do, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm gonna share my perspective, my observation about it, about the market. Here's the observation, right? So how can you give observation? If somebody asks me, like, Busha, how can you give the observation when there's no history about it? Okay, so there is a history. There's a 8 or 9 year history for cryptocurrency, but you cannot look at any other market, like a real estate market or share market or bond market, and you can predict or you can talk about it. It's hard to do it, right? It's just the way it is. It's just hard to do it. You can't really do that. Okay, so Can we learn from it? Yes, we can. And then what you can do is you can have the fundamental principles. This is here's the thing, need to understand, everybody. The fundamental principle, the underlying principle of investing never change. It just doesn't change at all. Okay, so it can be different for different people. Yes, you can make up your own investing principles. Because why I'm saying that, when you look at the stock market and you look at any of the top billionaires or multimillionaires who made their money, like as for example Ray Dalio, which I admire the way he did investing from since 1975 till now. He got a one of the biggest hedge fund on this planet Earth. It's called Bridgewater. When you study him, right? When you study Warren Buffett, when you study Mark Cuban, when you look at those things and you see their principles are different from each other, but the fundamental principles are the same. The fundamentals remains the same. So what are those fundamentals? They made their own principles, right? They made their own criteria. They made their own observation. They said, hey, this is my 5 to 10 rules. If the investment opportunity come along, okay, I'm gonna review that investment opportunity through my principles. Okay, so it's very critical, right? If that does suit my principles, I'm gonna invest into it. Otherwise, I'm not going to invest into it, right? This is a very hard thing to do. Why? Because there is a hype, there is a pump and dump. If you don't have the understanding of that, it's going to become harder. It's just going to become harder. That's just the way it is, okay? So what I learned from them is that it doesn't matter which market you're in, whether you're in crypto market, or real estate, or or business, or wherever you are, and you wanted to invest into it. The only way you can do it is that you have your own principles. You have your own underlying principles. Okay. So once you sort of though tick the boxes, because it's a long-term view. When you have those principles, you might I wouldn't say lose, but you might lose in the short term, but you gain in the longer term. You gain in the because you're anticipating, if I make a mistake here, what's going to happen. What they do is they did it over the years, and then they realized and they made their principles. Okay, so that's kind of understanding of that. Like let's talk about crypto. That how can you do it? So one of the principles, like for me, is when I do crypto investing, I tend to do very early into the project. For example, I mean, when I get to know Bitcoin back in December 2016, I actually studied in and out how mining works, what Bitcoin is, what this technology is going to do, how it's going to impact the world, and what other applications are coming on top of that. And how the mining works, how the security works, how the cryptography works in the back end, all those sort of stuff. Then I say, hey, damn, this is going to change the way we look at the world. So I start investing into it, right? So that's and then I look at what the teams or the other people, the coders of Bitcoin community or the Bitcoin community are doing. Then shortly after that, probably February last year, start looking into Ethereum, Ripple, and all sort of thing, other coins. Same thing. I was looking at what the team trying to do, what they're trying to deliver, right? How's the community like? What's the community is in the back end? What's their token metrics is that how many tokens they have. Like for example, for Bitcoin, it's fixed 21 million. You cannot produce more than 21 millions, right? But Ethereum is a different concept. So what you do is you look at what they're trying to change, what they're trying to. If you got a problem and they have a solution for it, right? So it doesn't matter which cryptocurrency it is, and then you anticipate, we have the biggest issue on the planet Earth, and they're solving with this cryptocurrency and using that cryptography, or they're using incentivization, which is called mining, and that's how they're going to solve the problem. Okay, so and these are the few factors I'll look into, and how long they're going to lock up your coins, and I'm talking about the early stages, right? If you figure out later on, then you're going to find out how the community is getting bigger, what's the value they're adding to the world with that cryptocurrency. So these are the few hacks I'm talking about it. Like these are the principles, by the way. So here's the distinguisher you're gonna do, right? You set your principles. I'm gonna look on team, look at the project, look at the token metrics, where they're operating for, what the problem they're solving for. That's your principles, right? That's my principle. And then what do you do is shortly after that, any cryptocurrency come along, what do is you pick that cryptocurrency or ICO, whatever you're going to call it as. You go through your systematic principles. So this is how I'm learning from the guy Ray Dalio, Mark Cuban, Warren Buffett, all those sort of those people. But I'm bringing those qualities or the fundamental principles into cryptocurrency, right? Is that the only way to do it? No, there's a different way to do it. Like you can do it the way you want it to do it, right? Why I'm saying that's the question we need to ask. Why I'm saying that, because once you have the principles, once you have the understanding, so now we're talking about the market. If the market crash, it doesn't really matter. Why? Because you laid out the plan step by step of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to execute if the market drop. Okay, so for example, with the ICOs, if I invest into ICOs, the moment the ICO hit 3 to 4 fold, I take my seed money out. Once I take the seed money out, if the rest of the money there, it's like a house money, like it doesn't belong to me, that's just profit. So if that doubles, I take 20% out of that, and I just ride the profit after that. So that's just kind of one strategy I'm talking about, it right? So this is because if you don't have that another strategy I use is entry and exit points. If you don't have an entry and exit points, you're gonna struggle. That's just the way it is. So what I'm trying to explain here is that a market is gonna play the way the market going to play. It's up to us. It's up to me and you how we going to play the market. It's a game. Market is a game. It's you're gonna gain tremendously. You're gonna lose tremendously. Our aim is to how can I minimize my losses? How can I minimize if I'm going to lose? How can I minimize it? How can I back it up? And you gotta when you're writing the profit, you just can't simply just writing the profit, because what happened is it's a mind shift. Because psychology plays a big role in my observation. Psychology plays a biggest role when you're investing. And what I figured out is that it's very hard for a middle class person to start investing. Why? Because of the mentality, because of the upbringing. Guys, I come from a middle class family. I know it, right? Because if nobody teach you, if nobody makes you understand how that works, you're not gonna figure it out. I don't know. I only get into the game probably a year and a half ago, or when I lost the money 3 years ago in my business. That's made me to think that how all the system works, right? How the whole gamut works, and then and then I laid out that I don't want to be in this position. Like and I want to hit the higher target. I want to go higher. I'm gonna get to the position where money is not. When you're making a decision, you're not looking at the money. You're looking at what you're solving, and what your goals are taking you to there. I want to get to that point. That's why I start learning about it, not just the cryptocurrency, money in general, economics in general. if you really want to look into the economics, I highly recommend you look into Ray Dalio. He's my favorite man on planet Earth. And then obviously, you got a Charlie Munger, you got a Warren Buffett there as well. So what you do is you sort of understand the concept. Once you understand the concept, you're constantly looking into it. Then you brought those principles into the cryptocurrency or any other market. It doesn't has to be this or that. And then you can make your own. You don't need to copy exactly the way it is. You can just tweak it the way you want it to do it, because if there is a history, you can actually understand the history, and then you can do investing. Ray Dalio there do that. He exactly look at the history, and then that's how he does his investing, and he done it for 43 years. Okay, so guys, this is just my take on it, how I proceed, how I look into the people who've been to the place and how they played the game, because that give you the sense. I mean, you gotta use your intuition, you gotta use your own knowledge. That's okay too, but on the same note, you gotta cut the learning curve. The only way you can cut the learning is learn from others, learn from the people who are on the top, the people who are playing the higher game than ours. So that's how you gotta figure out. So guys, this is kind of my take on 2018. Like, if anything goes up, it comes down as well. Anything comes down, it goes back up again. So nothing to worry about. My take is that if you have a strategy in place, if you have an enter and exit point in place, if you, as a few of the points I discussed before, if you have all those points, then you play the market. It's easy. It's just easy. I won't say easy, but it's easier, to make your decisions and stick with them. Okay, so guys, as I said, I also created a course. If you're starting out, if you don't know where to start, which cryptocurrency to buy, how to buy it, where to store them, what are the exchanges, can you buy with a credit card, what are those exchanges are. So what I did is I created a blueprint. I created a course where you made 26 videos where you can go step by step, and then you can get started into cryptocurrency. Okay guys, and then I'll put the link below, and what you do is just click on that and just have a look around it and just see what is in there for you. So we got a holidays here, guys, in Australia, but I guess Easter is all over the world. And yeah, happy Easter holidays, guys, and enjoy your time. And I'm in the park. I'm shredding my weight. I was 105, now I'm 98.5. I went to 89. Nearly 90, and then came back again at 99.5, and now I'm 98.5. So my goal is to go to 78. So I measure my goal, that how can I hit them quickly as possible, what are the things that I can do, so I can now talk to you guys, and I can do my goals on the side as well. So you gotta have goal. It doesn't matter which sort of goal you have, you gotta have goals. All right guys, you guys have a great day. As I said, I'll leave the link in the description. Just go in there, click in there, you can start into cryptocurrency if you haven't started it. And also I'm going to Thailand in 10 days for the conference, Bitcoin conference, tokenomics conference, and I'm going to go with my man Angie Gavin, and so I can help you guys out to move faster into the cryptocurrency space. Alright guys, check the link below if you're new to the cryptocurrency, and you guys have a great day. Thank you. Cheers.